Hello everyone! Welcome to another episode of Plus Ones, a series where we take a single card, break down what it does, and explore what it can do. Today, we're rounding out the last of the Dark Magician support with probably the most interesting of the five. Dark Magic Secrets is fun because of all the possibilities it brings to the table, but this card is much more technical, a puzzle to be solved rather than a map to explore. Presenting Faithful Servant. This quick play spell lets you take a Dark Magician, or any card that specifically lists him, from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and stack it on top of your deck. This does mean that it resolves as a -1, but during your main phase, you can banish it from your graveyard to draw cards equal to the number of monsters with different names among Dark Magician Girl, and Palladium Oracles on the field and in the graveyards. Funnily enough, it doesn't specify your field, but until the Dark Magician mirror becomes a relevant matchup, I don't think you'll need to worry about that. Also, flavor tip, before you resolve the draw effect, but after you stack your deck, is a great time to bust out the true name. Now, as long as you have at least one of those monsters in the appropriate location, Faithful Servant might as well read, add a Dark Magician card from your deck to your hand. Especially since the grave effect doesn't have the usual, except the turn this card is sent to the graveyard restriction. Heck, if you have a Lure of Darkness or Upstart Goblin in hand, you don't even have to worry about that part. But I think this effect is truly going to shine when paired with the Dark Magicians. You get to activate it during your opponent's turn, because it's a quick play, and then you can draw whatever you stacked. If it's something like Magician's Combination or Navigation, you can use their effects immediately. Or you can special summon Palladium Oracle Mahad to bolster your ranks. And since the Oracles are listed on the card, let's do a quick rundown of them as well. Mahad can be special summoned when it's drawn, giving you an extra 2500 attack on board, and floats into a Dark Magician from your hand, deck, or graveyard when it's destroyed. It also doubles its attack during the damage step if it fights a dark monster, and let me tell you something, there are a lot of good dark monsters out there. It helps run over monsters that are bigger than him, but it also boosts your damage output against things that you could already defeat. It's basically like getting an extra direct attack. Still, a situational attack boost and a floating effect a good card by themselves do not make. I think one is fine, especially since it boosts the power of your Faithful Servant draw. Next is Palladium Oracle Mana. She can summon herself from the hand or graveyard whenever your opponent activates a card or effect that targets any of your spellcasters, and she provides effect destruction immunity to all of your level 7 and higher spellcasters. She also floats into Dark Magician Girl in the same way that Mahad does for Dark Magician. It's cool that she has a revival effect, but I'm not a fan of waiting for your opponent to target your monsters for you to get benefits. The protection effect might also be nice in other formats, but right now we're not seeing too much effect destruction. But again, it does boost the power of Faithful Servant's draw effect. This is going to be a pivotal decision for deck builders when they're making Dark Magician. Do I play as many of the names as possible, even though they don't actually advance my game plan to maximize draw power, or just settle for playing Faithful Servant as a Rhoda? I'm going to have to do some testing myself to see which works best, but while my head is saying to not get greedy, my gut says that not many decks can keep up with the theme that can +4 out of nowhere. Magician's Soul is also a great enabler for the go big style. Every resolution of its effect after the first one, or even the first one if you already have Dark Magician engraved, can add another name to the list. And if you have Faithful Servant at the ready, you can either activate the spell to stack a good card, then use Soul's effect to draw, then draw again with Faithful Servant, or just pitch Servant for the Soul's draw, after which you'd get the Servant draw. Is there anything that this card can't do? That about wraps it up for this episode of Plus Ones. Is there anything about Faithful Servant that I'm missing out on? And now that we've seen the new support as a whole, is there some mass synergy that's eluded me up to this point? Now that I've covered everything, I want to try, emphasis try, to do some streaming where I give the cards a whirl, and I could use all the help I can get. I've got a link to my Twitter in the description, so I would recommend following it if you want to keep up to date with any streaming dates, as well as video notifications if you fancy that. And if any of you have found this series to be informative or entertaining, I hope that you'll keep me in mind next time you're looking to update your decks by using my TCG Player affiliate link, also in the description. Next time, we'll be taking a look at the next generation of Legacy support, so be sure to subscribe for more coverage of the Magical Hero set, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.